Right here is where Beatrice, a mother of 4, was pulled over on her way home from work on a Sunday afternoon by the Highway Patrol and questioned about her legal status. This is a mom who's been here since she was 17 years old, almost 20 years.
Cuando se lo dijimos a los niños empezaron a llorar todos. Todos lloraron. Me decían que por qué si los policías están para ayudar, que por qué les quitaron a su mamá.
On July 23rd, Betty Casillas, an undocumented mother of 4, was pulled over in a routine traffic stop. She couldn't produce a driver's license, so she was sent to jail and deported to Mexico the following week. Her children waited at home for her to return for dinner. They haven't seen her since.
¿Cereal o quieres cuernito?
Cereal.
Ten. No tabletas en la mesa. La casa está sola. No sé cómo explicárselo, pero no, se siente un vacío. ¿Quieres plátanos? En los cursos de la escuela pues van, pero en la noche es cuando hablan y preguntan por su mamá y dicen que dónde está, que cuándo va a venir, que qué va a pasar, qué va a pasar.
Until recently, ICE prioritized deporting people who were threats to national security or had criminal records. But in February, Homeland Security began instructing agents to quickly deport every undocumented immigrant they encounter.
ICE was told that they don't have to use discretion in any case. Anyone who's undocumented, regardless of their history, is a priority now for deportation.
Painesville is a small town just outside of Cleveland, Ohio. Nearly 1 in 4 residents identify as Hispanic, a number that doubled between 2000 and 2010. Many came seeking economic opportunities in the area's agricultural and nursery industries, which increasingly rely on immigrant labor. The immigrants are also often fleeing violence back home. Veronica Dahlberg, who works for a local Latino advocacy group, remembers what Painesville was like before immigrants began moving here some 20 years ago.
It was really on the edge of going nowhere, you know. There was a lot of drugs, crime. When the immigrants started coming in, buying homes, having children, raising their families, it really stabilized the community a lot. It brought it back. It revitalized it.
But now stories of people disappearing have become familiar.
One of my friends, his brother, he got stopped by the police last week. He got sent to jail. I don't know why, because he didn't have a license. And then I think today, he got deported back to Mexico.
There's also this girl that's in a different class. Her mom and her dad both got stopped by the police. So she doesn't have her parents right now.
All my life, 17 years, was in a second, I was losing everything in a second. I think my children's, my life, everything.
I miss you, Mommy. I want you to come back.
Oh, Mami, I miss you too. Te quiero mucho.
Cuando vaya contigo, puedo bajarte mucho.
In a lot of situations, like Beatrice, for example, there was no legal way for her to correct her status. She couldn't get a green card, she could not apply for a visa despite the fact that her husband is legally present and she has US citizen children. In her situation, there is nothing that she could do with the laws as they are written today to correct her status.
We have the meeting tonight to tell you about some things that are happening. There is so much going on right now. Since last Tuesday's announcement that President Trump was canceling DACA.
The recent deportations and the end of DACA are having a profound effect on the community, especially since almost half the students in the Painesville City School District identify as Hispanic.
immigrant community as a whole is living in terror right now. They're terrified. Everybody's terrified.
They sent me to here, but just with my jeans and my shirt. But what about everything that I left there? I'm grown up here, I'm from here, this is my country. But I was a teenager when I left, and now 17 years later, I'm returned and I feel like a stranger here. Every day when I woke up and I see the room, it's not my room, it's not my home, it's not my life.
Betty is living in Leon, Mexico with her husband's parents, who she met for the first time following her deportation. Her children are American citizens, so they cannot be expelled from the U.S. But her family must nonetheless figure out how they will move forward.
I don't know what I do. I don't know if to bring them or if they stay there, or I don't know. My husband works sometimes 13, 14 hours a day. And like him, too many other guys work all day to get a better life.
Betty's husband is now supporting the family on his own as a landscaper with a lawn care company.
Tengo visa de trabajo para trabajar en jardinería. Cada año voy y la renuevo. Vengo, pago mis impuestos y cada año vengo y lo que les digo, no somos criminales. Somos gente buena, que simplemente queremos aportar a esta nación.
Business owners are also seeing the impact of the ICE policy changes.
Immigrant labor is the mainstay of our business and always has been. And we can't get enough people, and it's restricting our ability to expand. The last 2-3 years, we've been at least 30 people short of what we need to do the best job.
The week we were in town, an undocumented mother of 4 had just taken sanctuary in a local church, one of the few spaces where ICE agents generally avoid making arrests. Like Betty, she had been in Ohio since she was a teenager.
Forest Hill Church has welcomed Leonor Garcia to live here in sanctuary until such time as she is able to return to her home in Akron, to her work, to her community, and most of all to her family. Let us sing. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. This has been an escalation, I think, of aggressive policy. I think when you add then the human reality of a mother being separated from her children, to me that's a game changer. Just a game changer. And so it seems to me that that should be a wake-up call that we need more rational and humane immigration policies in our country.
August 6th was my son's birthday. It was the first time that we'd be separate in any special day like his birthday. And November 18 is my son's confirmation at the church, and I can be there with him. The special celebrations that we do always together, like Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, and I'm gonna be there.
With prior administrations, you could at least have a conversation with somebody, like a member of Congress could pick up the phone. I had seen this happen. They could pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, why are you deporting so-and-so? This is one of our constituents. You know, there was accountability. There was people to turn to. Now it's like a big black void.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.